understood much about the brotherhood. You know, the Army, we're all brothers. Or the Marines, they're all brothers until after Eric joined. Now you see somebody from the Army and think of them as family. Some people have addictions to drugs and alcohol, but I fell into a sexual addiction. And because of that, I did things that I'm not proud of that led me to prison.
If somebody were to ask you to describe a disciple of Christ, a follower of Jesus, what would you say?
By trusting our lives to Him. No matter what comes our way, He'll see us through it. So.
Alpha Prison Ministries is a Christian ministry with the purpose to evangelize and disciple men who happen to be prisoners and former inmates. We do that in 3 ways. Our first is in-prison Bible studies. 160 men every week in Bible studies throughout Southwest Michigan, run by our 50 to 60 volunteers who go in every week with the express purpose of getting men, inmates, into the Bible for themselves, to study the Bible for themselves, one-on-one with our volunteers.
The volunteers from Alpha would come in on Monday nights and they would share themselves with us. And as time went on, I got to realize that as they were coming in, that was Jesus coming into the prisons to minister to us. And that showed me that they loved us and they cared. And it didn't matter to them what our sin was, what our crime was. And that was the love of God. And that gave me hope. And I learned that God actually forgave me. And it was a beautiful thing, to know that we're forgiven, and that we're loved.
Amen. Amen.
While I was incarcerated during that time, I had a son that was Eric. He was serving in Iraq. And there was a night I was sleeping and I seen this vision in my dreams that there was an explosion. And I think God was trying to let me know that there was bad news coming. I didn't become angry and bitter with God because, again, I knew that's what Satan wanted me to do. The volunteers, again, they were there for me to give me support and to help me understand God wasn't punishing me by taking my son's life. And that's part of war. I think it's a beautiful time of the year when they come and put all the flags out in memory of all our soldiers, our fallen soldiers. Not going through being able to be there for his final burial, that was torture. That was just hell on earth for me. But I had support from the volunteers. I had support from my fellow Christian brothers. I am truly blessed. I can look back now and see how God has had His hand in my life throughout my life, and I never really totally realized it. I don't ever want to depart from that straight and narrow road. It's not going to be easy, and it hasn't been easy, but I know now that God is there for me. He's there with me. And no matter what comes my way, He's going to see me through it. And I just thank God. And again, that's why I say I don't want to forget the things I've learned while I was in prison, because I don't want to forget what the Lord has done for me.